to tell you.
Capricorn, yes, it's the GOAT. I want you to know I lyrically like to float. Hip hop quotable, dope MC, and the style is so free when it comes with me. The astrology, you know, is spoken and just broken down. Don't you want to turn up the frown? Start to smile because the year's about to end. I had to bring back my favorite friend in astrology. You see, you know how I be. This is my soul sister. Respected mister, I want you to know we blow and just flow. Telling you the truth about astrology, yo. It's the winter solstice. Capricorn the GOAT. Tantric yoga. Yes, we'll get a quote and break down what she means when she says connected it to the solstice, my friends. She's an author, a dynamic woman. Don't you know we're gonna just brew up something good, cooking it so the Capricorn new moon ready with the flow. It's a new year, a new time, a new way to see. How you going to get some deep astrology from BigEAstro, Awaken the Dream School, Venus Gemstone. You know, we're not the fools. What we give to you is the knowledge, B. So now it's time for the podcast. Here we go. See? Knowledge. What's up, y'all?
I love that. Thank you so much. Oh my God. Look at my face. We haven't even done anything. And I'm like, just so happy.
Well, listen, that's what it's all about. You guys, welcome to episode 279 of my Knowledge is Love Astrology podcast with my friend and amazing guest, Miss Anjani Siegrist, author, astrologer, herbalist, and so much more. Anjani, welcome back to the show, my friend.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me back.
Oh, of course. Come on. You know, it's actually weird because I think 2024 may be in the last 3 years the least amount of shows we've done together. We normally do like 3 or 4 shows together in a year, whether it's, you know, my channel, yours combined. This year we've only done 2 because you guys go back and watch. Oh my God, I don't remember the number, but look through the podcast. Planets and Plant Medicine, Anjani. That's one of my favorite episodes. You broke it down. It was so much fun. And of course, I had you laughing like always. You know, I like that. So that's my job. I've got to loosen up her Virgo Saturn placement. So tonight we're talking about the winter solstice, Capricorn to go, the Capricorn season, Tantric yoga, and the Capricorn new moon, which you guys is happening at, I think it's 5:27. Some say 5:26, but I like to get the minutes exact. So it was actually 5:27 when it was 9 degrees and 44 minutes. And in the West Coast, it's a Gemini rising. So that's kind of fascinating insights. But the new moon is at 9 degrees, and it's the final luminary, right? We just had the Gemini full moon, and there's the final new moon of 2024, December 30th. So we'll talk about that in a bit. But Anjani, one, what is Tantric yoga? Explain that for the audience. And then after that, well, hello to everybody in the chat. But then after that, how has 2024 been for you?
Ooh, okay. Well, Tantra yoga comes from Kashmir, and it actually predates what we know as modern yoga. And so it's hard to just sum it up in a little phrase, but what I can tell you is that the practices that we have that we know of as yoga, which mostly in the West, all we know about is the movements, you know?
Yeah.
It comes from the Tantra yogas. So the whole system of the chakras, of Kundalini, and essentially, if I could sum it up into a phrase, it is to unite our own self, you know, like your own identity with your source self. And so there's this pathway between the crown of the head and about 12 inches above the crown of the head, and the perineum.
Upper chakras. Okay.
Yeah, so we're contained in this space, and that we are opening what is known as the Sushumna Nadi, which is the center. We're opening that wider and wider. So as we evolve and expand, like it's a literal thing that happens, expanding consciousness is expanding that Sushumna Nadi, so more energy is able.
Okay, Sushumna Nadi?
Sushumna.
Day or sha?
Shashumna.
Shashuma. Okay, because when I first heard you say it, I was like, wait a minute, did she just say Illuminati? Let me stop.
Oh God.
I'm joking. I'm joking. But okay, Shashuminati. That's
Yeah.
I've never heard of that. Okay.
Yeah, so we have these two channels. One is a solar channel and one is a lunar channel. And
Ah.
so we get the whole entire cosmos mapped on
Mm.
our human physical body. And so what we're looking at with those chakras is pale, a very pale image of what is really happening with the chakra system, because actually we're moving sound vibration through our body, and the chakra system is a map, so that whenever we're doing the practices, we have a place to land our visual focus, our mental focus, and to actually feel the vibrations moving through our body, which is expanding consciousness, expanding the Sushumna Nadi.
I love that. You know what's so fun for me? Every time we connect, I feel like you teach me something new. And so that's one thing I really always appreciate about you, because you are just such a wealth of knowledge and information. And getting back to the second part of the question, do you feel like you learned a lot of new knowledge, insights, and introspective stuff in 2024 as a Pisces and a Taurus rising?
Eric, what the okay, so the south node was going through my sixth house
Yeah.
in Libra, and the north node was in my 12th house, pushing me further into the mysteries of all the 12th house things. So
Yes.
2024's learnings for me were about the dream time, the dream realm, about the unconscious. And so a lot, I was starting from the beginning of 2024. I started with a broken toe, so I couldn't run. So I was like
Oh yeah. Oh.
doing other things. And I had a Bobinsana Dieta this year, which was, it turned into be something completely bigger than what I expected, which is basically a time where you're only sitting with only one plant. And I'm the plant lady. So I'm
Yes, I
usually
remember
like,
that from the last episode. Remember we talked about sitting with a plan, and that's a pretty deep, dedicated like ritual and process.
it is so intimate too, because you're just with one plant. I actually had some of these plants shipped to my house so I could sit with them, and the practice is to sing to the plant. And so the Bobinsana plant has its own song. So I learned the song and was sitting there singing to this plant and
That's
drinking.
incredible. Oh my God.
So that took a whole chunk of my awareness. And then right after that, I had an opportunity to sit with ayahuasca.
Mm.
You heard
Now,
about
okay,
this,
now
yeah?
stick with ayahuasca, but did you actually take it?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, do
Yes.
tell, please.
Well, I've had it
What you can
before.
share.
Yes, I've had it before.
Okay.
I've only had it in ceremony,
Okay.
and this time I've had it twice in ceremony. Once with a group from Atlanta.
Okay.
The person who leads those is Brazilian, and
Mm.
it's nice because it's like people that you feel very connected with.
Oh
And
yeah.
then I had another one with a lady from Mexico who also amazing group of people that I'm sitting with
Wow.
in those groups. But this time it was somebody from Brazil, from the jungle, who didn't speak English, who came to San Diego,
Wow.
and it was the most intense medicine I have ever had in my life.
So,
Like,
but ayahuasca, but it's not like that other thing that I want to try that people talk about, the toad. Like that's like really
okay,
intense
no,
too.
no, 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 no. That
Mm.
is, you're actually taking the venom from the frog, and they burn you, and then they put the venom onto your burn mark so it gets into your skin through that open source. With ayahuasca, it's actually the leaves that have been brewed into a very thick. I find it delicious. Most people don't find it delicious, but this drink, you take the
Wait, wait.
drink.
Of course you would.
I love it. I feel like I've had this plant before. So every time I've
So
drink,
in a
I'm like,
past life, yeah.
yeah, totally. But this time it was so insane because when my eyes were open, I could see things like, when they say creating sacred space, and the person will like call in the elements and do maybe sing a song or something.
Yeah.
This person, when he was beating his drum and he was calling in sacred space with his prayers. I could, with my eyes open, I could literally see the web shooting out of his prayers that
Oh,
was like
stop
protecting
it.
us.
That is awesome. Wow.
The whole sky was like this geometry of sparkly white web-like structure, except for Mars. I could see Mars in the sky, and Mars didn't get blocked out. You know what I'm saying? So my experience was very Mars-like. It was like
That's
Mars
great.
came through that night.
And you know what's so funny about that, right? Because you're sort of like, Taurus rising, Miss Venus, and me being the Scorpio rising, Mr. Mars, our chart rulers. Um, we are entering in 2025, a universal 9 year, which is connected to numerology, and 9 is Mars. So it's going to be a lot of endings, a lot of completion, 2025. So I think that you doing this in 2024 is preparing you to really integrate this new energy. And I think it's nice. And obviously there's a lot of stuff happening in the Pisces, Aries, so your 11th and 12th house. Obviously, for me, my opposite, right? My my 6th and 5th. With the North Node, January 11th, going to Pisces, and then Saturn and Neptune. So, do you find as Saturn and Neptune enter your 12th house and the North Node leaves, do you think it's just like trading places in the sense that there'll be even a new emphasis for you, not only in the dreams, but also the spiritual practice, the disciplines, but even exploring your subconscious mind?
Thank you so much for that, putting that together, because I had looked at it briefly on my own chart. I don't know about you, but I rarely look at my own chart. I'm like
I'm
looking
so
at the
busy, but every once in a blue moon, I'll get to my own chart. But you're right. It's hard, right? You're
so
always
that
looking at clients. And
yeah, yeah. So that's really awesome. I feel that in my heart right now, because this year has been so deeply intense with the North Node going through my 12th house.
yeah,
But as we have Saturn and Neptune going into Aries, is going to be in my 12th house. I feel it's exactly what you said. It's like it's like the North Node has been paving the way, and all these experiences that are getting me into my subconscious, the below the surface of my consciousness, and how I connect with universal consciousness through
yeah,
dreams,
yeah,
through visions and meditation and all of that. Now, when we put these other planets in the 12th house, it's, I feel, with Saturn definitely creating structure and form. And it's so funny that my channel is called Awake in the Dream,
yes,
because I keep on seeing like, oh, there's more that I'm going to be doing with death, with dissolution of life in whatever way that means. It's maybe going to be relationships, and how we, as we grow, we don't need to let go of the relationship. We need to dissolve how we were relating to, I can see there's a lot of dissolution coming up in what I'm going to be teaching about. So thank you so much. And then I have no idea with Neptune in, oh my God, Neptune in Aries. I've been reading about
Wait,
this.
plus a Mercury and Venus retrograde too. So March, oh my God, at some point, first of all, in Pisces, you're going to have Mercury, North Node, Neptune, Venus all conjunct in Pisces in your 11th house. So that, and for me in the 5th. So that's going to be kind of fun, or interesting, I should say. But yeah, one thing I want to ask you real quick, but then also mention, especially for Taurus risings, and we're going to get all into the Capricorn stuff, you guys. And Anjani we'll get you guys in the chat. So hello, you guys get ready or start asking your questions if you have any. But with Aries in the 12th house, I find this with Taurus risings. Do you find you can fall asleep quickly and easily?
Oh my God. When I was in the Navy, I could go to the restroom and sit on the toilet and put my head on the toilet paper roll and fall asleep. I have no problems
Oh my
falling
God.
asleep.
Okay, see, I am so envious and jealous. I guess for me, having the Libra and Uranus, it's so different because my wife's also a Taurus rising like you. I joke, her head hits the pillow, she's gone in 26 seconds. It's like, it's so fast. Me, there's like, I need, I got to unplug the internet. I want a crystal under the pillow. With Uranus and Libra, it's a lot. So I got to I've got to, my relationship to like my socks. I can't sleep barefoot. Like are the blankets covering my body properly? Like it's a very Libra.
This is
It's a
so
very
precious.
but it's a nice Venus energy there, but it's like it's a
Mm,
lot. So, and with the Uranus, I think for me, once I started putting crystals in the bed with me and also on the
mhm.
pillow, game changer.
Oh yeah,
Highly
I sleep
recommend
with
it.
that. I put the
Oh,
crystal
good.
right on my chest. I have a big one that I put on my chest to go to
Oh,
sleep
that's
at
good.
night.
That's good. So,
Yeah.
okay, so go to the chat, and then I want you to get into with the energy of the winter solstice and how we should embrace it, because I always tell my clients and my audience, we don't set our New Year's resolution on January 1st. That's not the real New Year. We want to wait till the equinox, 0 degrees Aries, March 20th. But I know the solstice has its own type of rituals in terms of that balance, right? Of equal day, or not equal day and equal night. Sorry, that's the equinox, but the shortest day of the year in terms
Mhm.
of embracing the darkness of our life and how we kind of replenish. So let's go to the chat and then break down that energy and how you perceive and to prepare our audience for the solstice.
Yes, this is one of my favorite things. I call it embodiment of the cosmos or your cosmic body. That's the thing. Cosmic body. It's like
I love that.
such a real thing. Okay, in the chat, hello Julie. I'm so happy. My friend Julie's here.
Hey,
Um,
Julie.
yes, and we got Julie. Okay,
Julie, will you be my friend and subscribe to my channel?
oh yeah, let's subscribe, everybody.
Yeah, you guys like and subscribe, and also go and subscribe. It's down in the description, but Awaken the Dream School, Anjani's channel as well. We thank you for that. Yep, definitely. Go ahead.
Okay, somebody, this is Bella. She says, I have Uranus in the 12th in Sagittarius, and
Hey,
I can
Bella.
fall asleep so fast. And she sleeps with crystals also.
Well, I think that's a fire sign thing. I think fire signs, like, so if you have an Earth ascendant,
Mm,
fire signs in the 12th house, you can go to sleep like that.
yeah, that
I think
makes
it's the
sense.
same for the Virgo risings too with the Leo. I would assume we have to ask them.
Yeah, we had to ask them. And you know what, too? There's a lot of stuff going on with sleep. I feel because of the internet, the microwaves,
But also the X class and M class solar flares.
all
We
of
are
that.
literally ascending to the fifth dimension, and the veil is so thin, Anjani. And even with all this foolishness now, that just so you guys know, it's really about distracting us, with these orbs and these drones. The reality is they're not going to tell us the truth. If it was a real threat, it already would have been shot down. So just ignore it, and maybe it's hard to ignore. I know it's affecting people's technology over their homes. If I've seen the videos, it's crazy, but this is a bigger distraction. It's really to get us off of our process of ascension, and even to evoke fear, right? And we don't want to go into that lower frequency of fear. So just,
Yeah.
yeah, just no. Be like, bye, Felicia. They're foolishness.
Yes, I sleep is so precious though. That was the point I was going to make, is that
Oh yeah.
it really is not only for spiritual reasons. Okay, let's not only for physical reasons, because
Yeah.
for physical reasons there's so much that we
Oh,
need sleep for our whole organs to regenerate
yeah.
themselves, but for spiritual reasons, because there's information, like real information, that can enter into us through sleep because we're not distracted with all the thinkings and all the doings. We're open. So that's Shishumna Nadi again, wide open. So we're able to receive information, and it's so crucial. So if you can't sleep, hit me up, because I have a whole free resources on my Instagram page of like ways to work with your dreams and your sleep. So
Oh,
I'm happy
good.
to share
Okay.
that.
Yeah, on IG, she's Venus Gemstone, you guys.
Yeah, Venus
She's a
gemstone
she's a
everywhere.
big deal. She's a big deal on IG.
Oh God. Okay, so let's look at the winter solstice from our body, like from using our body as the map.
Uh-huh.
So the crown of the head is gonna always, always, always be the start and the end. So it's the beginning of a breath and it's the end of a breath. So
Okay.
thinking about it very like logically, when you inhale, let's say you're breathing with your nose, as you should be, because mouth breathing is causing a lot of problems for people right now.
Oh, it's terrible, especially for the teeth. Do you also believe we should exhale through the nose, Anjani?
Yes, and there's only certain times. When I lived in India, there were certain breathing practices that you would use the mouth
Okay.
to to cool down. So you're losing energy when you breathe with your mouth. And James Nestor wrote a book called Breath, where he explains all the things that are dysfunctional about mouth breathing. So if you have kids, there are kids, the alpha generation especially, are doing a lot of mouth breathing. So if you have them,
Well,
practice
doesn't
with
it
that.
also mess up your teeth? That's what the
It
Native
does.
Americans believe as well.
Your
Yeah.
whole jaw actually becomes more like a rat. So it like squeezes in and your nose squeezes in. And so you want to not do that. Just breathe with your nose. So looking at it logically, the bridge of your nose, say like right here, if you can see in the video,
Yeah.
this is the place that breath can enter. So when you inhale, the breath goes down, your rib cage expands because the diaphragm is right below your chest
Yeah.
and your rib cage is there. The diaphragm is this dome, and when you inhale, it pushes downward.
Yes.
This is the inhale. And so what I find a lot of times in yoga classes in the US is that people are teaching the opposite. They're saying to inhale and then exhale up. No, wait. I don't know. I can't remember I can't remember the wrong way anymore, but they're doing it turned around.
Okay.
So
Be honest, because you did, and you guys maybe you don't remember, but Anjani shared her long time ago, her first episode here, that she had actually studied and spent time in India, and really getting into astrology and yoga and all this stuff. Do you feel that the yoga in America, for really a real kind of term of reference, it's almost like McDonald's fast food yoga?
yes.
Okay.
And I can't stand it. And so I've been
That's what I
working with
thought.
myself a lot to be able to stand it. And there are some people, like for instance, I have some friends here in San Diego who, when we met, I told them about my experience in India, and they went to my teacher in India and learned from him. And one of the best feedback that I got was from a lady who's a naturopathic doctor. She said that when she got there, she was embarrassed to say she was a yoga teacher, and she
Yeah.
teaches yoga teacher training here in San Diego.
After studying there.
No, before
Oh,
studying in India. And so
okay.
she's like the yoga teacher in town, and then she
Yeah.
got there and she was like, I was so embarrassed to say that I was a yoga teacher
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's like yes, McDonald's, but it's not the Happy Meal. It's like the toy from the Happy Meal. That's what we got for yoga over here. It's the toy from,
Oh my God. I love
because
it.
there's so much more to it. Like in India, we have a 30-minute just breathing and then meditation. You have to clear these naughty the channels.
Yeah.
We clear the channels and then we do the movement and then we clear the channels again. So it's all about expansion of the center. You know what I was talking about in the beginning.
Yes. Yeah.
So with this breath, as we inhale down, this is always going to be the new moon because it's the beginning of a breath and the end of a breath. So I will always tell people a cool lunar inhalation. So when you inhale, you feel cool. You feel a coolness.
Right.
You're going from here down through the seasons. When you get to the place in your diaphragm, where's the last place your breath can reach,
Yep.
this is summer. In the
Oh, wow.
diaphragm is the summer. And now you think about summer solstice. What happens at summer solstice? The sun rises back up and we start again here at the winter equinox. So it's
That
the
makes
winter
sense.
solstice.
Okay. Okay.
So and every day, this is always going to be the beginning and the end of a day. And when we exhale, there's a fire and it's the sun rising. So if you go out and watch the sunrise in the morning, this is the sun rising back up to the crown.
Okay. Wow. I
Okay?
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So the way that we work with this at the winter equinox is so simple because you've got everything with you already. Your whole body is the cosmos, and your breath is it's spirit, inspiration.
Yeah.
So you just imagine, I have drawn this in my subconscious. So when I close my eyes, I'll see this crescent moon, which is when we see Shiva, the Indian god Shiva. He's got this crescent moon, which says it's the beginning. And then he's got it on the other side, it's the end of a moon cycle. Get it?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got this little crescent moon. Now we're going to inhale and imagine that moon dropping down through the body, and you just see this central part of your body as the seasons. So from winter, we're inhaling down, our breath is going down into the diaphragm. There's a small breath pause, which is called kumbhaka. In the pause is where the magic happens, because in the pause, what's happening is that the sun and moon, the inhale and the exhale, merge together, and like a new moon, they're together, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so what we want to have happen is for those two to join and to enter into the Sushumna Nadi. So it's is it going to happen? I don't know, but you're focusing on that. That's the
Okay.
intention. So every inhale goes down, and you're just watching your breath go down, and I'll like see this little moon drop
And how long
down.
do you do this for, Anjani?
You could just do it for 5 minutes. I mean,
Okay.
24 minutes is the recommended. It's like 1 minute for every hour of the day,
Ah,
because this is one breath cycle is 1 day, one breath cycle is 1 year. So we're looking at the map of a day and also of a year, whichever.
that makes a lot of sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really fast. Now, let me ask you a question. So, could you do this on the solstice and on the 30th for the Capricorn new moon?
It would be so awesome to do it on. I do it on the new moons and also the full moon. So actually
Oh,
what
okay.
yeah, because now from the diaphragm, this is going to be like a full moon, so we're exhaling back up to bring the sun rising back up. So
Right.
it's a whole lunar cycle with a round of breath.
Oh my God, I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
So, okay, no, this is really weird. And I don't know if any of the other astrologers have experienced this. And I only have seen this because I do my weekly astro weather. I do Monday through Thursday and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? So I record it twice a week.
Mhm.
Okay, I've seen a pattern that has just happened recently. And it started, I think, with Fridays and then going into this weekly one. The moon is, it's 2.5 days, 60 hours, right? Every 2 hours is 1 degree, right? So this is really weird. The moon has been moving faster lately. I don't know how long it's been happening, but when it was in Gemini and Cancer, it wasn't like, every 12 hours, 6 degrees. It was like more like 7 or 8. And
Mhm.
so it's more like a 58 or 56 hour cycle. And
Mhm.
then when it was in Leo, and then I checked it for Virgo, it's back to the 6 degrees every 12 hours. What do you think that could be? Because I double checked, I was making sure. I'm like, I'm thinking I'm going crazy. I'm like, am I putting the right time? And anybody in the chat that's watching my astro weather is like, they literally saw it because, I base it off of like 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon Eastern, and then, breaking it down because, from 12 to 12, that's, 6 hours, right? And the degrees moving. I swear, Anjani, with in air, or at least in Gemini Cancer, it was moving at least 7 or 8 degrees. And Virgo, I noticed, coming up from my astro weather on Friday, I already, peeked ahead after I finished Thursday, and it was back to the 6 degrees. So same thing in the Leo. So fire, earth. Does
Mhm.
that make sense to you? Or have you noticed time actually moving faster in any way?
That is so fascinating. I hadn't
Yeah.
even heard of it. I hadn't thought about it. I have no
Oh my
idea.
God.
And how the heck did that happen?
I
Like
don't
how?
know, but it was literal, you guys. It bugged me out, and I'm just like, yo, because I've heard of different things since they've been playing with CERN, but just
Mhm.
in general, like with the X class, M class solar flares, and the veil being so thin, we're at the precipice, the pinky toe in the water of the age of Aquarius. but this was literal when the moon was in an air and water sign. Now I'll have to see when it gets to Libra Scorpio, will it repeat that? But it sure did with Gemini and Cancer. And it was bugging me out because it went back to normal with Leo and then the Virgo moon for the Virgo moon weekend coming up. So that kind of like, I was like, okay, let me ask Anjani, and
So
maybe anybody in the chat, if you've noticed this or seen it, or if it feels like time is like moving faster, please comment and stuff. But yeah, it bugged me out.
So what do you think that's about?
A conspiracy? No, I don't know. Like, I honestly, I just feel like we are quantum leaping, and we are literally entering a whole new era, a new energy. And so I think that honestly, we're not going to be able to really predict anything for 25 and 26. These transits, this year is the sneak preview, and then everything gets solidified in 2026. But Uranus, in the 7-7 portal, taking a peek into Gemini for a bit. Saturn and Neptune, I guess around May or June, stepping their toe into Aries for a little bit. And then, but they all are permanently going to be, in their new signs. Uranus, it's April 2026 in Gemini for 7 years. Saturn for 2.5 years in February. And then Neptune is like a 14, 16-year transit, back in Aries. But their exact conjunction will be in Aries in, February 2026. So I think times are changing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think things are speeding up. But it's fascinating that it would only be in air and water. And so then it makes me think, is there something happening with like dog star Sirius and like Sedna and Gemini now? And, that's bringing up new animals and new forms of food, new algae. And that's going to come online with Pluto and Aquarius. We're going to have new opportunities for health. It's a lot of, Pluto's virus. And so the fixed signs, right? Detoxification. So a lot of parasite cleanses. Americans don't do that. Indigenous cultures will do it once a quarter or twice a year. Some Americans have never done in their life. So, I'm in the middle right now of the Master Cleanse fast, with the cayenne pepper, organic maple syrup, distilled water, and lemon juice. And I'm going to Friday, which is going to be day 16 for me. I mean, oh my God, I'm not going to get into like the numbers, but, I'm a old school. I'm a guy's guy. I don't get on the scale and weigh myself. But, I remember the last time I weighed myself, I was at a certain weight. And then, now, I mean, basically, I shocked the hell out of myself. I got on the scale the other day and I was like, oh my God, like I'm almost back to like 2008, my wedding weight. Like I lost a lot of weight and I feel good, you know what I mean? But a lot of mucus and inflammation coming off and out of the body, due to obviously the cayenne pepper and the lemon water. And then I do that. And then I just drink regular water with it. And it's been amazing. And so, before Christmas dinner and all that, we're going to stop it on Friday. So Saturday, we're going to, wifey and I will go back to, we're probably going to just bring in like pears and like cucumbers the first day, very light, transition in and salads, and then get ready for, a little bit more heavier food on Christmas Day. But it's been amazing. And I recommend it to anybody. I love it. But I did hear if you have issues with your blood sugar, you must be careful. I'm not a doctor, but I did say at a Holiday Inn, but you need to be careful with the organic maple syrup because maybe it can do certain things to the blood sugar levels. But this has been around for years and there's books about it. So I think it's very safe. But, have you ever done that fast or that cleanse?
Yep. When I got out of the Navy, that was 2006, and I went to massage therapy school beginning of 2007, and I did a whole year of different cleansing, which at the end of all this, like this book I have that took you through all the different organ systems in order, so you don't, what happens a lot of times, people get into detoxing and their colon gets overworked.
Yeah.
And their liver wasn't ready for all that. And so it can be really harmful. So this book that I have takes you like lung detox, gallbladder detox, and you like detox different organ systems. And then you get to the big dogs, which is like your liver, your what do you say, your colon. That's like a
Yeah.
major thing because there's so much
Liver,
stuff.
colon, pancreas. Yeah. That's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I did do it, and I had a really great outcome from that too. Yeah.
That's great. It's been awesome. So, let's check in with the chat. See any comments or questions.
Hmm.
You know,
Everybody's talking about this so much good. You guys are so smart with all this like health stuff. I am overjoyed to see how much people are into what's going on with health and everything like that. So,
well, Anjani, they have to be
mm,
Pisces North Node, Virgo South Node, Pluto Aquarius. This 2025, you guys, and I, just a weird prediction from BigEAstro. Um, we're gonna have something. I don't care if it's monkey this or bird this or COVID part three. There's gonna be something in 2025. So I promise you, working on your mental and physical, your spiritual and physical health, Virgo Pisces, right? Anjani, the health, we're the health access. Virgo Pisces is the health access sister signs. And with the nodes going there, listen, there's no days off of your spiritual practice. And there's really no days off about the attention about what you're putting in your boca. Be careful. You got to be smart. We got to eat right. We got to be better. We got to get rid of the processed foods, the sugars, the canned stuff, the this, the that. Eat really whole foods, right? Real fresh foods from the earth growing, And if you're going to eat meat, make sure it's organic and grass fed and grass finished. Like you got to be really maniacal, intentional, especially 2025 and 2026, you guys. I promise you. So I'm sorry. Go back to the chat. Let's see what's going on.
no, I'm really glad you said that. This is one thing that I do the eclipse readings for people. So
Uh,
people will hire me to do the year, if the next eclipse is coming up. So as we're looking at the change of the nodal axis, I've been finding myself saying this in a different way because it depends on what house it is for you.
yes.
But the main thing is exactly what you said about health, spiritual health, what you're holding in your water, which is your body's consciousness, you're holding, and then what you're doing about it with the Virgo side.
Yeah, but even think about like for you, a Taurus rising, 11th, 5th house. There's still the health amongst when you are in groups, your social network or organizations or your friends. There's still health with your Virgo South node with your children having and one thing that I just said and Anjani, after the show, you can go to BigEAstrology and watch my 2025 Taurus rising insights and predictions. I just released it before the show came on.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I'll be doing all 12 signs, you guys, but go watch Aries and Taurus. Those two are up. But one thing I was saying with the South Node being in Virgo, I think Taurus risings, right? You have this obligation to see your children not only as your teachers with that K2 South Node there, but spiritually tapping into their health and nutrition needs, making sure your kids are having the pre and probiotics, that your high schoolers or college students, right, fifth house stuff, are really tapping into their lineage and their past lives and their ancestry, right? And also to their heart chakra for their own creativity. So I think it's still physical and spiritual health, just in different dynamics, any house it's in, right? Even if you had it like in the 6th, 12th, right? Or even if you have it in 4th, 10th, it's still going to, because of the energy of Pisces and Virgo, when the Pisces North Node comes in, you've got to create and use your imagination. And you've got to really tap into who you are as a soul, as a spiritual being, right? Like you said, breath is spirit. This is where, hey, whip out those crystals and the sound bowls, like get on it, doggone it. You know what I mean? Like it's going to be important. And I like to help people to make the transitions of these huge, listen, this is big, right? These outer planets, having Pluto and Aquarius and Uranus and Gemini, that's markers that we had in the Civil War and American Revolution. It's big stuff. So we got to really be very intentional about who we are and where we're going with these energies.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what's on the agenda there. Any other questions or comments? Do you see any new?
No, everybody's just talking about cleansing and about
Okay.
taping their mouth.
So if you guys have any questions about the solstice or anything that Anjani was explaining earlier, definitely ask. So, Anjani, I want to hear your perspective. I'm the Capricorn moon, so I'll speak on it after you because I live this every day. You're a Cancer moon, correct?
Cancer moon, yeah.
Okay, so we're opposite.
We have
Oh my God.
so many
I
oppositions.
know we're opposites everywhere. And I think that's great. Opposites definitely do attract. The Cancer, the Capricorn moon, that's amazing. The ascendant and the sun, that's 3 oppositions. So that's like really, really, I think it's cool because I find, and I don't want to know, I love when I have another astrologer on. Do you find in terms of sister signs and opposites, the hardest one has got to be because they're the most different, Aries, Libra?
Oh my gosh,
I
I had
really
not even
I
thought about
really
that.
feel that's the most challenging.
Wow, what a great observation, because yeah, they're like, one of them is like pretty and wants to be liked, and the other one is like fierce and doesn't care if you like them or not.
And will step on your toes, and they impulsive and assertive and aggressive, and Libra's like, "Oh my God, what are you doing?" Like,
Oh my God. Yes. Oh my God. That
that's the
really
most
sums up.
challenging sister signs. And so I find with all my Libra rising clients, if anybody's here in the chat, listen up. That Aries 7th house, Sun, Moon, Rising, they're not for you, sweetie. Especially the Libra rising women. Oh my God. No, leave those Aries men alone. You need to look at the rest of your chart. Obviously, your Jupiter, your Venus love language, your 5th house, your Juno. But seriously, I've seen more Libra rising women, Anjani, bang their head up against the wall, getting in the wrong relationship with these like overly I'm the fireman, I'm the cop, I'm the athlete, I'm the jughead, Aries type aggressive guys that
Mm,
energetically and spiritually are not the right match for them. So
mm,
I feel like I do extra therapy and counseling for my Libra rising clients, especially if they're Pluto Libra. You
mm.
all know who you are out there. It's real. It's a real challenge being attracted to that Aries energy for them.
You know what is coming to mind is that they have to do it though. They have to do the work of integrating their Aries
Descendant. Yeah.
archetype.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this was what I wrote my book for, The Alchemy of Intimacy, is so that we can become the love that we are longing for. So
Mm.
she's going to keep being attracted to that archetype of the Aries firefighter, assertive man's man type, because it's Mars ruled, right?
Yeah.
Aries is Mars ruled.
Yeah.
So she's going to keep being attracted to that type of person forever. And so the thing is to integrate what that means for her, so she starts to do her Aries things
Oh, okay.
so that
That makes sense.
she can experience the thing that she's attracted to from a place of not needing to have it be what she wants. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying?
Yeah. To connect to it externally, bring it out from within.
Yes,
Yeah. And
exactly.
and then because like I was gonna say, because like if you got that, but then let's say your Juno's in Virgo, your Cancer, your Jupiter's in Cancer, and your Venus love language is like Pisces. No, you don't need to be with an Aries. That's like that's gonna make you crazy, But it's just an interesting thing. So okay, so this is what I'm saying. So what does Capricorn the goat mean to you?
Okay, so Capricorn, the ruling planet of Capricorn is Saturn. Saturn is, again, right here in our body. Saturn is going to be that boundary between, this place is the last place breath reaches. So
Okay.
there's a boundary here. And in Tantra Yoga, it's called Kal Utra. Kal means time, Utra means beyond or above.
Mm,
So beyond time. Saturn is here and down. This is our where we say we're contained or constrained or restricted
yes.
to time. From here down is where we are restricted in time, and from here
Mm,
above, this is the boundary. And so the pineal gland is above the boundary, but when we can access this place, we go beyond time. So that's
mm,
another thing of Tantra Yoga, is these practices that we do to stimulate the soft palate the bridge of the nose and
Okay.
to vibrate this door to go beyond time. So when I think about Capricorn, I think about this part of my body and how I keep myself in time by doing stuff that is foundational for my family, for connecting with ancient traditions, studying elder wisdom.
Yeah.
These things are Saturnian and Capricorn. And of course, when I think of Capricorn, because I live in this hemisphere of the earth, I think about winter
Yes.
and old people.
But I will say something about the Capricorn energy, you guys, and a lot of you guys who have it, whether it's sun, moon, or rising, everywhere, Anjani, Capricorn has the Benjamin Button effect. They start off very serious, restricted, and mature, but as they age, they get more youthful. So
Interesting.
I noticed that with Capricorn sun, moon, risings. I got Capricorn rising kids. I'm a Cap moon. I've got cousins who are Capricorn suns, and I've
Mhm.
seen my cousins are like 59 and about to be 57, and they're becoming like youthful again. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? And my Capricorn moon, how I process emotions now compared to 25 to 35-year-old Eric. Oh my God, I've come such a long way. I am so much better, and I know how to compartmentalize, but I know how to not over emotionally react or under. Like I feel like now I'm at a place where I can integrate it, and like my Capricorn moon has really gotten better over time. So I encourage all my clients and friends and people with any Capricorn placements after 40, Capricorn placements get so much better. Really
Mm.
believe that, yeah.
Mm.
That's my, research, Anjani.
So I mentioned what I think about when I hear Capricorn. I think about like my body and
Yeah.
old stuff. So what do you think about?
So it's funny, you said a lot of the same keywords I think of, right? My Saturn's in Taurus, and with the Capricorn moon, I think about with Capricorn connecting into the forest. I want to spend more time in nature and around the trees, getting the wisdom and knowledge from these sentient beings, communicating with the plants. I think about legacy and family.
Mm.
I think about the discipline that has gotten me to every aspect of my life. I preach it to my children. I tell, my boys all the time, I was like, men who have no discipline, they have a place, to contain them, and it's called prison. Like as a man, if you don't have discipline, you're going to be broke, homeless, or in jail. So, or just a hot mess. So for me, discipline is the backbone to every aspect of my life. I had to have it. I joked, right? When I was a professional actor, nobody was going to give me anything. I had to hustle. I was my own pimp and my own hoe. Right. I had to go to the casting directors and get the auditions. I had to like send out the pictures, headshots, and resumes. I was hustling. This is before technology when you could just click a button and send everything over the internet. No, I had to go to offices. I had to go to post office. All the ladies in New York at my local post office, they're like, "Hey, baby, what you auditioning for now?" And da 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 da. They loved me. Like, "Oh, I saw you last night on New York on the cover. Oh, you look so good next to Ice-T." Or when I was on Sopranos or Oz. So like I had a community like watching me grind and hustle, and then watching me like build this like career. And so that's the archetype of Capricorn. The sea goat climbs the mountain of success.
Mm.
Capricorn is about achievement, status. Even one of my Capricorn teacher friends, she would be
Mm.
the first to hand in her weekly lesson plans. I don't care
Mm.
what career they're in.
Mm.
Capricorn cardinal earth will initiate, but unlike Aries that initiates, Capricorn, they see it through. They complete the
Mm.
mission, right? They
Mm.
want the success, the status, the achievement. So for me, that's been a journey, right? Already being a Virgo and a Virgo stellium, I'm kind of a bit of a workaholic. And so I actually, oh God, you would have laughed at young Eric. I would put myself on punishment, Anjani, if I was not reaching certain goals or, sending out this many headshots or whatever. I would literally take things away from myself that I liked and enjoyed. So I would like go for a walk and I kind of like give myself a verbal lashing, recalibrate and be like, yo, what are you doing? Why are you procrastinating? You got to get it done. Da, da, da. So I would take away my little sweet treat of like, like I used to, You know, I got Venus on the ascendant, so let's keep it real. So I like my little Entenmann cookies, or I would like to eat, you know, like a little sweet treat, you know, whatever. I would be like, nope, you can't have that for 2 weeks. That's it. You don't deserve it, right? I would take away like, oh, you can't play video games. Nope, can't do that. You know, I would take away, you know, whatever it is, right? You
Hmm.
know, you can't smoke any blunts this week, you know, whatever it was. But I would literally put myself a punishment and take it away. That's the Capricorn. Woo, that was crazy. Because when I turned 30, I was like,
Mm.
okay, what am I gonna do? So when I turned 30, I decided to become a vegetarian. I cut out all meat, and I did it for 2 years. 30 to 32. That's what I did. You know, and this is the time, you know, I'm like, you know, long locks. I'm in New York. I'm doing print modeling. You know, I'm doing all this stuff. You know, those are the slender, you know, athletic, you know, muscle, you know, looking real, you know.
I saw your pictures, Eric. I
Oh,
know.
listen, I was killing him in New York as a single man. Let me tell you, it was good times. But you know, that's the thing. It was that discipline. I was so disciplined. Like every day I would, you know, like I'm working out 3 4 days a week. I'm going to the juice, not the juice bar, the health food store. I'm getting my wheatgrass. I'm getting my apple pear
Mhm.
celery mixed drink, or getting my whatever drink I would get. You know, I'm doing like all types of stuff. You know, once after the 2 years at 32, when I did integrate meat, it was only like organic, you know, chicken, and very, you know, limited beef. I stopped pork at 24. Pork and soda I cut off at 24, right after I got out of college in Maryland, moved back to New York. So yeah, discipline is my thing. So
Okay,
that's the
so
Capricorn archetype.
yeah, so we got this Capricorn new moon coming up, and I'm so grateful that you just told us all of those Capricorn secrets from your moon, because we can apply some of that knowledge that you just dropped so lovingly to the house that we have Capricorn in. This is literally something that I've been thinking of, because like, get your shit together. Like, I've been like in my head, like, sit down, dude. You know what I mean? So
Your
I
ninth
kind
house,
of
yeah.
I kind of like that idea of putting yourself on,
Punishment.
I don't want to say punishment. It's
I know,
like,
I know.
you
But
know what I'm saying?
withholding,
But
it's like limiting, for very Saturn words,
mhm.
restricting and limiting. How about that?
Yes, restricting and limiting.
Delaying.
Delay.
That's the
That's a really
Saturn
good
word.
one.
Yeah.
To
Delaying
delay.
the gratification.
Yeah. So, the full new moon that we're having in Capricorn, what day was that again?
It's December 30th, 5:27 p.m. Eastern. So that's 2:27 p.m. Pacific. And it's at 9 degrees, and I have 9 degrees 44 minutes. So that's a Sagittarius degree. It's, you know, coming off of, it's still in the lunar mansion, which is also connected to the nakshatras of the sun. So there's very much this I am legacy energy
Mhm,
around it, and
mhm,
abundance with the Jupiterian ninth degree Sagittarius, right? So I think that, you know, we're also got to look at the ruler, and that's going to be 14 degrees Saturn
mhm.
in Pisces, squaring Gemini, Jupiter, 13
Jupiter,
degrees.
yes,
So
yeah.
the the great malefic against the great benefic in a square. And how do you view Gemini, Jupiter, Saturn, Pisces squares? Because that's an interesting dance.
Yeah, it really is, because Jupiter is so expansive, but it's not the best placement in Gemini, because Gemini is like all over the
It's
place.
debilitated, yeah.
Yeah, and then Saturn in Pisces is also, did you hear about this thing with every time Saturn is in Pisces, which is going to be every 28, 30-ish years,
Yeah.
that every time Saturn is in Pisces, when we're looking with through a telescope, it looks as if Saturn's boundaries are not there. They're like dissolving.
Shut the front door.
I'm so serious. You can look up the research on it.
I freaking
And
love that. I
it's
love the
and so
cosmos and
it's
the
the
planets.
angle that Saturn is when we get to this when Saturn moves to this place in the sky, the angle makes it appear as though those rings are dissolving. So
That's deep.
there's something about Saturn in Pisces that is almost asking us to dissolve some of our, going back to this bridge of the nose, what is below that is Saturn. So it's like what we have built our lives upon as far as
Mm,
our ego identity structures, so that we can, it's like an opportunity to go beyond time. So
mm.
when we get into Pisces, that's what we're doing. We are experiencing consciousness from the whole sea of consciousness, not just what's contained within our body.
But the collective universal consciousness, yeah,
Yes. Yes.
like that.
Hmm.
So, okay, so that leads me to like Awaken the Dream School. I never kind of, maybe we did talk about it the first time I met you and had you on the show, but you know that ideology where some people believe that when we are sleeping at night, you guys, that is when we are really awake in the spiritual realm in the heavens, and that's the real us, right? Not the avatar 3D matrix physical container here on earth. So that when we are awake during the day, that's when we are really asleep in the cosmos. You know, a little confusing, but definitely makes sense. And does that even tie into your mentality of Awaken the Dream School?
Thank you so much, Eric. I think we're never asleep in the cosmos.
Well, I know that, but yeah,
Yeah,
because we have
I,
our higher selves, right, and our
yeah.
spirit team and guides. But yeah, our higher self is always kind of conscious. Yeah.
So when you think about it, if we have like the whole thing with the planets is like we are the planets, we are the
Yeah.
planet Earth. And but these planets, we're looking at them and they're looking at us. And there's like during the day, we have to, when we wake up in the morning, we have to squeeze all of our consciousness into this physical body, which is so small and so condensed and
Yeah.
tight. And, you know, the atoms and the molecules got all wound up into this little thing. Oh, just like relax my shoulders and like, this whole thing about expanding the center is very much about bringing in our cosmic self and making space within our body to contain the vastness that we are. So, awake in the dream is basically, first, I love what you said that we are awake. And then, when we actually in the morning, when you're in the
Mm,
hypnopompic is means the moments before waking up,
yes.
that you're still kind of in the dream space and you're
Yeah.
still expansive and you're emotional, you're like touching everything. And then as you start to wake up and like realize, oh, I'm here again. Oh, and then the dream dissolves and all your consciousness squeezes back into your body and like, I need to get up, I need to walk the dogs, and all these like mundane things come back. Whereas just a second ago, you were everything all at once,
Yes. You
everywhere.
you you were in the abyss, in the void, and in the universal connection, consciousness. That's so beautiful. And I like the way that you said that because um, you know, I don't know about you, and I want you to share, and you guys in the chat can share, please do. And if there's anybody new, please share your big three. I always like to break down new people in the chat. Julie, if you want to share your big three, Julie, share that. And or if Anjani knows it, I like to give people like a little, breakdown of their big three. But since Pluto's been in Aquarius, right? I want to know for you in the 10th house, but I'm going to tell you for me in the fourth. So
Mm.
Scorpio rising, right? Pluto Aquarius. My dreams have been off the chizzy, off the charts. I not only am I remembering my dreams every night, and part of it is probably the crystals and just all the dream and spiritual work I've been doing and do continuously do. But Anjani, I mean, okay, this is really heavy. So I lost my mom when I was under in coma in 2021, and she was a Pisces rising, Pisces moon, and Taurus sun.
Mm.
So very kind of opposite and similar to you,
Mhm.
and she was in my dream and we were back in my home in New York City and I was like having some holiday party or something. But anyway, she was about to introduce me to this woman, Vedic astrologer.
Mm.
And then I kind of awakened and I
Mm.
was like, oh my God, the alarm clock went off. And I'm like, no, what was the message? Like, so, and I'm like, okay, should I study the Vedic and learn it? I use principles of it in my practice because I'm all about getting to the truth. That's all I care about. Right. And
Mm.
so where Vedic works, I'm like, yeah, I get that. I agree. That works. I'm going to use that. Right. But I was like, or am I supposed to get a Vedic astrologer on my podcast, which I think I definitely want to do that. But I was just like, you know what, Ma, what are you trying to tell me? Like, it was just, but it's one of those things that I was like, wow, because that I've felt my mother's presence. I've kind of like felt like I've seen glimpses of her in my dreams and whatever, but this was full on. My mom was talking. She was not in the wheelchair. She was verbal. She was like looking good and healthy. And like I was talking to my mom, and it was very special and deep.
Did you wake up crying?
I didn't, because I was happy. I
Oh,
was just so happy. Like,
okay. That's probably your wife, because we cry when we're happy.
oh my God. I guess it is different for the genders, right? I was just so thrilled. But I tell you, that's another thing I would say. The Capricorn moon, oh my God. Since almost dying, or since becoming a father, I, like, oh my God, I used to watch that TV show, This Is Us. I'd be sitting there, and then it was all about Pittsburgh, and I'm a Steeler fan, and that was like my connection to my dad. Oh my God, I used to watch this. So maybe my wife would be sitting there watching, and all of a sudden I'm like freaking crying. I'm like, oh my God. Like, but fatherhood has definitely made me like more in touch with that. You know what I mean? So yeah, listen, I'm man enough to say I hug trees and I cry. I'll keep it real.
That's good. That's very healthy.
No, it is healthy. And that's the thing with the Capricorn moon. I got to say, male or woman, Anjani, a lot of them, they do restrict and limit and delay those emotions. So a lot of Capricorn moons. I'm actually in a Facebook Capricorn moon group, and I don't like the meme stuff, but I like nuts and bolts, like really sharing with Capricorn moons. I think it's fascinating. But a lot of Capricorn moons have issues with crying with their mother, like all that.
Yeah.
It's deep. So get back to that square. What do you think about that? Because the ruler, being in Pisces, and I love what you shared, but what do you think about that actual square to Jupiter?
Well, I think that Saturn wins.
Because Jupiter's debilitated, yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
what I did.
why I would say it wins too? Because this is weird. I never understood that association, except for the 12th house is kind of the end of the road and losses, but it's also self-undoing, and it is jails and prisons. But Saturn's in this planetary joy in the 12th house. So even though it was just at home the last 6 years, or prior 6 years, to Capricorn and Aquarius, in Pisces it's kind of confused a little. But it is in a 12th house, which is not the same, but associated with Pisces. It is in its planetary joy there. So I always found that to be very weird for me. You know what I mean? Like, that's a weird planetary joy, Saturn 12th house. But now I kind of get it. Because
Totally.
you think about it, right? To really have a spiritual practice, you need what? Saturn.
Discipline.
Discipline.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it makes
Discipline is such a dirty word for a lot of people, but it is so, if you think about discipleship, like what are you discipling? What are you a disciple of? Is it your
yes.
art? Is it your dreams? Is it your health? Become a disciple of whatever is your Pisces house while Saturn is there.
Mm. Love
Julie,
that. Wait. Before I lose my thought, let me just say this real quick, because I want you to get to the chat in a second. But think about it. Think of sect and astrology. The day squad, right? Sun, Mars, Jupiter. The night squad, Moon, Venus, Saturn. Saturn exalted in Libra, right? Which is Venus. But then Venus exalted in Pisces. And it kind of like makes this connection between Libra and Pisces, the quincunx and conjunction. But it makes the connection because Venus is devotion. So Saturn and Venus, that connection, spirituality and discipline is about devotion, you guys. I just came up with that right now.
No, I love that.
It
I
makes
always
sense.
feel that Venus and Saturn have a really special relationship. If you go
Yeah.
back into the mythology of how Venus was even born, it was because of Saturn being castrated by his son.
Oh, snap. Yes, that's
Sorry,
right.
Uranus being
Yes.
castrated by Saturn's sight.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
then so that Saturn doing that and throwing the dismembered phallus of Uranus into the ocean is the birth of Venus. So there is a special relationship with Saturn and Venus.
Oh, and that makes sense for why Venus is exalted in Pisces too. That's the unconditional agape Christ-like love. And if you think about it, love kind of flows like water,
Mm,
right?
yeah.
I ain't felt this way in years. Think about Lauryn Hill. Just like water. I love that. Oh my God. That
Oh,
Unplugged album is like my
that
favorite.
Unplugged album was so,
It's
it was like, I was like, is she okay?
yeah,
But
no,
I
but
get
it's
it now. I get it
so
now. But at the
so
time,
great.
I did not get it. I was like, this girl's losing her
Oh,
mind.
I got it from day one. And
Did
guess what?
you?
I saw her live
Okay.
in Carnegie Hall. Oh my gosh. The best experience, the best album.
Mm.
She is my favorite female like MC and artist ever. Like, oh my God. Just love Lauryn Hill. And but yeah, but so that's really important. So let's get to the chat, see if we have any comments or questions about Capricorn or Saturn or anything, you guys.
We got lots of stuff in the chat now.
Okay.
And please don't let me forget that I want to offer people a little exercise they can do to set new moon intentions with their Capricorn house and with your help, because you're the
Okay.
Capricorn person.
Yes, we
Let's
would
make
definitely
sure
do
we do that before we end.
that. Oh, of course.
And yeah. And okay. So, first of all, Julie wanted to let you know
Okay, tell me,
that,
girl.
yes,
What's your sun, moon, rising, Julie?
she's super cool, Eric. She's like actually homie level. Like,
Oh, I would love to meet
yeah.
Julie. I would love to.
She also is an astrologer too. So
Oh, shut
she's
up. I didn't know that.
very for real.
Okay. Hey, Julie.
Yeah.
Hey,
Gemini,
girl.
you should bring her on your show actually. She's super cool. You'll like her a lot.
Okay.
Gemini
Well, Julie,
rising.
hit me up, Eric at BigEAstro.com, and let's tango and dance in January.
That would be awesome.
Let's do it.
Gemini rising
Okay.
and moon, and she's
And
got a
moon.
Taurus sun.
And Taurus sun in the 12th house. So number one, Julie, and I'm sure you know this as an astrologer, but it's my job as an astrologer to break you down. Because as astrologers, we have blind spots with our own chart. So number one, you need to spend your most money, and the 12th house is overspending. So if you're going to overspend, Julie, it's got to be for your bedroom, your sleep game. You need cotton, organic cotton or linen sheets. You need crystals under the pillow, especially Taurus is connected to gems and crystals. And for Taurus, it is a 5-sensory experience. You need lavender on the pillow. You need to smell good. You need to feel the fabrics. You need the sleep game on like 12. Okay. That is going to help you the most. You and dad may not have gotten each other so well. He could misunderstand you. You can misunderstand him. It's not a death sentence, not to mean he's a bad dad, but when the sun is in the 12th house, it's dissolving that energy. Remember, it's the hidden talents and hidden enemies. So watch out for some of those Taurus sun moon risings. Obviously not Anjani. She's a great friend, but some Taurus moon sun risings could hate on you a little bit, hidden enemies. And then also that's your hidden talent. So you can be very creative, very artistic, probably in your bedroom, privacy at home, nobody's there. Julie be singing at home alone, Anjani. I know she does. She likes to sing. She gets out of the shower. She's in the bedroom like, oh, before the longest time. Oh, you singing in the bed. I know, Julie, I already see you. I remote viewed you already, Julie. And then another thing too, you like to be, I'm not going to get too overt, but you like very sensual in the bedroom. You like a sensual massage, stuff like that in the bedroom. The moon on the ascendant, that can be come see, come sa, because people like to verbally dump on you, Julie. Oh my God, their life story. Everybody's got to tell Julie their life story. And as an astrologer, you probably, if you're not really disciplined and like your time when you do readings, you probably go over because people are like, oh my God, Julie, and this and that and that. Like that's what happens with the moon ascendant. And we can see your emotions, Julie. Everybody sees it on your face. When Julie's hot, people know when Julie's happy or excited. Everybody can see it with the moon and the ascendant. And also you can retain water. So you definitely want to, Mercury's your day with that rising, right? Wednesday's Mercury. So you're going to definitely jump rope, do the lymphatic stuff and cleanse and get it all out. But, Wednesdays is your day for that journaling and all that stuff. And hopefully things are good with you and mom. Sometimes the moon and the ascendant, depending on the sign, is different. But with Gemini, Mom could have been a little critical, or she could have been like super hyper and verbal and like into education and a writer and all this creative stuff. She could have been an actress, artist, whatever. But Gemini moon, when you have the Gemini moon, it's like you're here to teach your mother how to communicate better. So that can also play out. So just want to share that with you.
Okay, Julie said, "Oh my God, I can't believe what people tell me." And she says she does sing and that she would love to connect with you and talk about astrology.
Oh, awesome. That's great, Julie. My pleasure. I look forward to it. Reach out, reach out, reach out. So anybody else? What else we got there?
Everybody's saying Capricorn in the 12th house. That's
Okay.
True Maddie or
Oh,
Through
the True Maddie. Hey, True Maddie. So as the Aquarius rising, you already know the next 20 years, you got a lot, right? You need to do a parasite cleanse. But the Capricorn in the 12th house, I bet your dreams have changed since November 19th. Getting rid of Capricorn has been there since '08. That may be a nice relief for you in terms of, because even Pluto, have you found this a lot, Anjani? Pluto in transit, but Pluto 12th house, if they don't really work with that Pluto and really transmute and get, really healed the pain, trauma, and crises from childhood and past lives, I find they can attract a lot of narcissists. I've seen that a lot in transit, or if you have Pluto 12th house in general. Have you noticed that?
Mm-mm. Oh,
Yeah.
just the only reason I haven't noticed it is because I have different clients than you. Because that's not something that maybe it's also not a thing in my mind of,
Okay.
yeah.
Well,
Like the
think
whole
about it.
narcissist
Yeah.
thing, that's like that whole thing is like so maybe that's why I haven't acknowledged that.
Okay. No, but yeah, narcissists, they're everywhere. They're like cockroaches. I like the cockroaches, mamita. You gotta kill out and stomp them out.
Oh my
Those
God.
freaking Pluto people. But listen, listen. You know what's so funny? You want to talk about blind spots as an astrologer?
Mm.
I have forgotten all this time, all these years. I've been dealing with it on my freaking moon and in my third house since '08. It didn't even dawn on me.
Mm.
Isn't that crazy?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm feeling actually a little bit better with what is your moon, your body, your health, your intuition, feeling healthier, more energized since November 19th.
Mm-hmm.
Pluto has made me be more intentional and
Mm-hmm.
disciplined about my health since '08. I went through, starting '05, went through a ring of all these surgeries and stuff. Pluto, I mean, gosh, Pluto Capricorn hitting my moon. And during that transit, I lost my mom. Saturn in Aquarius 4th house, lost my mom. But Pluto has been, I didn't even think about it, but it's been affecting me a lot. So I'm excited about that. So just want to give a little bit more input on this Capricorn new moon, and then we're going to get into what Anjani was saying in terms of giving you guys a practice to do for this new moon energy. And you guys look at your chart, whatever house you have Capricorn in, but it is a new beginning. And coming off that Gemini full moon and then the Cancer full moon, I believe it's January 13th, give or take, like it could be the 12th or 14th, but I believe it's January 13th. But the Capricorn new moon on the 30th, we are really having this really nice energy because it's 2 new moons in 1 month. Right, we had it on the 1st, so that's kind of rare, right? I don't know if they call it once in a blue moon, but they normally do that for full moons. Do they say that for new moons? I don't know. I'm not that much of a moon nerd, but you may know better than me because you are a moon expert. But this is 9 degrees, and even the Saturn Jupiter square, we have to squares. I always look at the optimistic, positive. I got Jupiter on the ascendant. Squares to me are opportunities for growth, Anjani, right?
Yeah.
And so what you need to do is integrate all this new information, new knowledge that you're getting from Jupiter, Gemini, right? Transmute out any of the gossip. That's no good. That's low vibrational energy. But in terms of new data, new information, we need to, through our spiritual discipline and practice, integrate it, download it through, right, the higher chakras, but through our crown chakra, like Anjani said, through the body, and really walk into building new foundations for 2025, new realities, dreaming a new dream, new energies, right? We have got to say, Pluto, Capricorn, goodbye. Remember Lot's wife in the Bible when she turned the stone because she was yearning for Sodom and Gomorrah, quite literally, right? Turning around is an act of yearning. Say goodbye to your old self. Say goodbye to your old ways, whatever house your Capricorn's in, right? I got to say goodbye to my old ways on social media, the old ways of communicating with, I don't have younger siblings, but cousins, social media, local community, neighbors, neighborhood, right? We got to say goodbye to that. And now in the Pluto Aquarius, we got to vibrate with a new intention, a new frequency, right? Anjani, we're setting the intention, right, for ourselves and for the kids. No more rayon and polyester. We are only going to buy cotton, or at least 60% cotton and more, organic cotton, linen, and wool. And you never remember.
Did we talk about that?
No, girl, I'm just in your head.
Damn, that was part of the thing that happened when I had the ayahuasca ceremony. The next day I woke up and I put on a jacket and it made me nauseous and I had to take it off. And then
because it wasn't cotton or linen, right?
Yes, it was polyester. And
there
so everything that is bad for me is making me nauseous and I can't mess with it anymore. I can't believe we didn't talk about that. I'm going, it needs to be 85% or more cotton.
Okay, 85, yeah. Well, to me, I just want all cotton. I'm just saying, like,
I want all cotton, but
yeah, I want all cotton, but I'm just trying to let people know, like, at least if you have like a new goal, a new whatever, you could start to integrate, you know what I mean? But you're right. No, it should be 100% cotton, organic cotton, linen, or wool. And you don't mix linen and wool because they're both, I think, I don't know the vibration. It's like 5,000. They're equal, so they nullify. So
they negate each other.
Yes, yeah, totally negate each other. Exactly. So
do you guys know what he's talking about? Because this is a real
thing. Is important. Frequencies for your clothing, you guys, and your bed sheets. But especially if you can start anywhere, start with your underwear and your panties, right? Ladies, your thongs, get the cotton.
Get the polyester out of your butt. Okay.
Yeah, no, seriously. No, it's not good. Not good at all. Even more so for the ladies. It's really not good, but it's not good for the men either. So yeah, no, it's very important. And I think that this is part of what the age of Aquarius is bringing in, right? Also, you are the queen of growing things. I love seeing the videos, right, on Oja and just in general that you share about your garden as your herbalist business. But we have got to get into playing opera in our gardens, having copper, sound frequencies. This helps the plants grow. Just like you talk to the water, you need to talk to your plants. My plant, by accident, during the summer, I wanted to get them some sunlight. I should say her. I think it's a woman. I named her Precious Plant. So by accident, I put her out in the sun for too long, trying to give her the love. But she got, Arizona's too hot. She got a little burnt. So I'm healing her back. She's back there hanging out. I'm healing her back, and I talk to her every day, and I pour my water in her, and I set the water in the intention. I'm actually going to pour some of from the Gemini full moon the other day. I'm going to pour some moon water in her. So I'm going to do that as well. But yeah, we've got to be really, I like to say this, maniacal, intentional about the clothing, the food, but also, mira, how we dispense language out of our boca. Dame lengua. Watch your mouth.
Yeah.
2 eyes, 2 ears, 1 mouth. Watch your mouth.
Can I tell you something about your tongue? So the tip of your tongue in Tantra Yoga is known as a sound needle. And one of the things that we do is put our tongue on the roof of our mouth and vibrate sound. So if you're humming or making love or whatever, it's really good to like on your exhale, because when you inhale again, you're bringing, I'm going to keep repeating this, you're breathing that cool lunar inhalation down. So you've inhaled. On the exhale, you're steaming up this fiery energy, and then with the tongue you're vibrating the roof of your mouth. So everything that
on the exhale, vibrate tongue on the roof of the mouth. Okay.
On the exhale, and if you're humming, and of course there is the whole Om thing.
Yeah, the Om,
really sideways with closing your mouth when you say Om, and it just stops the power. But really what you do is it's more like Ong, NG, with like the sound of a hummy, like a bee. And then your tongue is vibrating the roof of your mouth, and you'll start to feel that vibration in the crown of your head, which is how we go beyond time.
I do that sometimes by accident, organically.
Perfect.
That's great.
Perfect.
Okay, I love that.
So
That's really
I
good.
was just adding that in about what you're saying, because we talked about clothes and food. The one of the really important things is this sound needle is a magic wand that you're spelling things with. And so make sure that
Ah,
you're picking the words that more closely match the vibration that you want to experience.
and they're more aligned with your heart, right? We know the four highest frequencies, right? Gratitude, joy, love, and authenticity. Think
Mhm.
about that, right? That's why, you think about like connecting to God source energy, you have to vibrate from your heart, but you have to be your true authentic self. Aquarius, right? Aquarius
Mhm.
Leo energy we're talking about here. You
Mhm.
have got to be authentically you.
Mhm.
And that's all that's going to matter, age of Aquarius. I already told them with Pluto Capricorn saying goodbye, right? Politicians, celebrities, that energy is dead. That idolatry is dead. Nobody cares anymore.
Mhm.
Nobody cares about, you see them falling, whether it's the Oprahs, the Beyonce, the Jay-Z, the Diddy's. Nobody cares about celebrityism anymore. Okay. And so, and same thing with the politicians. We have got to be, and that's what I said. Don't get upset about Trump winning or Kamala or whoever, right? I'm like above it all. To me, there's no election until you have a 3 to 5 party system. So it's all fugazi. To me, we need to become the leaders and presidents of our own lives.
Mhm.
That's what I've been sharing with people. And that,
Saturn, your Saturn
yeah,
principle.
yeah, it's so important. And so, actually, that's why I like having Saturn, as we were talking about that connection earlier, Saturn in a Venus sign.
Mm.
It's exalted in Libra, but it's very, very nice in Taurus. And I and I like that. You know what I mean? Because it makes me what? Discipline about my money,
Mhm.
discipline about my self worth and values,
Mm.
discipline about the senses,
Mm.
discipline about what I value in life.
Mm.
So, you got to look at it like that. And so it's really something that I've come to really, it's becoming one of my favorite placements. I like it.
Saturn is becoming one of my favorite placements too, in this age of my life. But I would
Mm,
like to be able to show people how to
yeah,
do this with
do
their
that.
own chart, where they're
Okay.
able to see when we're talking about this planetary rulership. So anytime we're having a new moon, you can do this. What we're gonna talk about right now, and it's important now because I don't know. I feel that I
What do
feel
you feel, Anjani?
I want to tell you, okay? So, this is not the end of the year, and it really drives me
Exactly.
insane
Well,
when
that's why
people
I said that before about the real New Year. It's such a resolutions, right? The equinox,
this
Aries.
is not resolution time. So,
No,
really
not at
what
all.
what this is time for, the new moon in Capricorn is really more about think about what Capricorn is. If it's the winter solstice, we're going to the roots of existence. This is also because
Mm,
in the wheel of the year, Capricorn is white, representing the snow, representing gray hair, our elders, our ancestors, the traditions, the lands that we come from.
paying
And so,
homage. Yeah.
yes, paying homage and then also like taking inventory of your
Mm,
own life,
yes.
going through the because now this would be winter and we've completed a halfway round of breath. We're having this pause.
Okay.
Anytime we have a solstice, it's a pause, stand still. And in our body, it is a kumbhaka, a breath retention, where the sun and moon are together and we have an opportunity for them to penetrate our central channel.
Okay.
And so while we're doing that, we're looking at our lives. Okay, how is my career? How is my love life? How is my social interactions? And you can literally use your natal chart because 12 houses represent 12 different aspects of life, which
Yep.
cover basically
Everything.
everything. And so we're taking inventory during Capricorn season. We're not setting the intentions yet because we don't know yet. We're in winter, it's dark and cold,
Yeah.
and we're snuggling with our families right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what you want to do is look at what house you have Capricorn in. That's the
Mhm.
first thing. If you don't know, you can ask Eric or ask me or look it up on how
I
do you,
like to always go to astro.com. I
okay,
just like their setup and stuff. I also know Astro Seek is real popular. Some
yeah.
people like Cafe Astrology. They're all fine.
Yeah, so pick one of those and pull up your chart, look at what house
But
you
I
have.
do like to tell them to look at the whole sign system. It is
Yeah,
more ancient and more accurate,
yeah,
and it's very clean. And also, Anjani, this is my bone to pick with astrology. Not a, actually, and I will say this, right? Whether you're into Vedic sidereal, whether you like the equal house system, whole sign, or Placidus, they're all tools to get to the truth. So you'll never hear me badmouth another astrologer. But I will say, even the astrologers that use Placidus, when you're doing ancient timing techniques, you got to go to whole sign.
exactly.
And as we both know, I don't believe in interceptions because we have access and we're connected to all 12 signs. The
Yeah.
moon goes through every sign in a month cycle. So it's kind of silly to say, oh, I don't have that sign in my chart.
Mm.
I've got 2 Capricorns or I've got 2 Sagittarius. No, you have all 12 signs, you guys. So that's
Yeah.
why I say go to the whole sign system. It's clean and it's perfecto.
I used to use Placidus, and finally I had a reading with Till Swan.
Yeah.
Till Swan's one of her ex-husbands was a really good friend of mine. And
Ooh,
I was reading for him, and he was like, it wasn't hitting. It wasn't hitting. He was like, I did his reading in whole sign, and
and
he was
everything.
like, everything made sense. And he
That's
was like,
it.
wow, life changing. And that was it. I never used Placidus
No,
again
I
after
know,
that.
because I did that with my own chart. Most astrologers, especially in modern times, you're learning the default on all the websites is Placidus, you guys. So you have to go like in astro.com, you go to the default button. I don't know what it is or where you do it in Seek and Cafe Astrology, but it's real clear and easy on astro.com. And then you click it and you go down the whole sign. And yeah, it changed everything for me. My
I
Virgo, the Scorpio rising, my Virgo's 11th house, not the 10th, and all that silly. Yeah.
I have a video on YouTube. You can hit me up and I'll send it to you. It's like a 9-minute tutorial showing you how to use Astro and how you can look up Chiron and pull it. It's like
Yeah.
shows you how to use it. It's pretty easy. You can figure it out, but
No,
that's
that's very helpful. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so what you want to do is look at the house. The house is going to be the area of life in which this new moon is going to be impacting you. And then, as with any of the new moons or full moons, you want to find out what is called the planetary ruler. And I never used to use this language because I was trained in shamanic astrology and evolutionary astrology to start with. But again, like Eric said about the timing techniques, you
Yeah.
cannot use timing techniques if you don't use that Hellenistic system of
Yeah.
looking at the planetary rulers, because you lose so much without.
And it gives you so many extra layers of insight, though, too. It really does.
Totally, yeah. So then what me and Eric are going to do when we're looking at our chart and going through inventory of our life and figuring out the new moon intentions for this very important time of year, we're going to look at where Saturn is, because Saturn is the planetary ruler of the Capricorn new moon. So, once you find out the house you have the new moon in Capricorn, now you're going to look at Saturn on your chart and find out where is Saturn and what house is that and what is Saturn doing on your chart, because this Saturn on your chart is going to also be part of the new moon.
Yeah.
So, do you recommend people to also look at transiting Saturn?
Well, to be honest, I actually look at the transiting Saturn first in Pisces. So for me,
Okay.
I would look at your 11th and my 5th,
Okay.
and then I look at my natal of Taurus in the 7th,
Okay.
because the new moon is a transit, right? It's a
Yeah.
transit. So I look at the transit first, then I look at the aspects of the sun and moon in Capricorn, like it's conjunct my natal moon,
Mm-hmm.
which I like wonder, what you think about that. But also then I look at like, okay, the ruler in my natal chart. So I look at my 7th house of relationships and the marketplace and
Mm-hmm.
contracts, negotiations. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, but you should look at both. I really.
Yeah, I'm so super focused on Saturn right now because of just it's in my Pisces house, which is everything in my chart. So
Oh
I've
gosh.
really been focusing in on my natal Saturn. What is my Saturnian principle doing in my life? And then how to like bring that more out to the forefront instead of having it be something that looking at what the government is doing, or looking at what
Right.
my landlord is trying to cut my trees down, and all the authority figures in my life,
Right.
instead of focusing on them, I'm breathing back my Saturn principle. So with this Capricorn new moon, I am really honing in and embodying my own Saturn principle. So I recommend doing that for you too. But Eric's
So you
way
have
off,
to look for you have to look at your 5th and your 11th, right?
right?
And then the new moon in your 9th. So that's really fascinating. Yeah.
They all tie in together though. It's all
Yeah.
working together.
No, no, it's perfect. I love that. Yeah. For me, I definitely, I'm dealing with a sextile with the Saturn and transit in my 5th and my natal and Taurus in the 7th. And, I really, one thing that I've noticed is that people don't talk about this enough. When you respond to your abilities and you are more disciplined, structured, and organized, Saturn, the great malefic, will bring you more blessings and rewards than Jupiter and Venus ever can. And so
Mhm.
I think when we have a life focused on honoring Saturn, the Saturnian bubble matrix we live in, things do get a little easier. Ooh, child. So you make me sing tonight. They're gonna get brighter. You know what I'm saying? Like for real. Like just think about that, right? When you put in the hard work and discipline, you in life, what do you actually happens? You reap the success and the rewards because your hard work pays off.
Mm.
And so, not like that work, like, oh, that grind mentality and I'm a slave in the matrix. No, discipline is in every aspect of your life. Like we talked about with clothing, with what we eat, with our meditation and devotion practice, our prayer, our watching our mouths, our watching, not, ODing on sugars or starches or cursing or drugs or alcohol. I don't drink anymore, really. I've had one drink of alcohol all year, Anjani, at Thanksgiving. I do like eggnog, only Thanksgiving and Christmas. I have it twice a year and not that much, but I like a little, but we didn't have, I like Bacardi rum in it better. We had, I forgot what it was. It wasn't right, but they were sold out the stores, and my wife got this ugh, candy cane eggnog. It was terrible. She wanted to take it back. We stopped drinking it, but the kids, they just want eggnog so bad. They liked it. But, I think that honestly, this may be my last. I'm going to do it again at Christmas, but this time I'm going to have some Bacardi. But I think next year, Thanksgiving and Christmas, I'll either do no eggnog, or if I do eggnog, there'll be no alcohol. Because alcohol, I always say, as you know better, you do better. New science, new research. Alcohol, beer, alcohol, any of it, you guys, it's so bad for you. Not just your pancreas and kidneys, it shrinks your brain. Stop drinking. It's not worth it. I'm not having a drink for New Year's Eve, none of that stuff. And I don't miss it. I do not miss it. So think of that when you think of your Capricorn house and placements, and think about the disciplines. Discipline goes all throughout your life. It really
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Thank you for that, Eric.
You're
Wow.
welcome.
I'm
It's
tickled.
important.
I'm like tickled because how old are you, sir?
I I am 54, but I feel like I'm 43.
Okay, okay, good. I'm glad that you are gonna stop drinking now. I mean, I know you're not a drinker. That's a
No,
different.
no, I've already I mean, to be honest,
Yeah.
Anjani, I haven't been drinking for years. So it's not like
Yeah,
a new
yeah.
thing. I'm just saying, like, literally not even a sip. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not worth it anyway, unless you're like
No,
getting. Yeah. Okay.
no, never was.
Do you want me to tell you anything what people been saying in here?
Yeah, yeah. Let's finish out with the chat. Let's give the people some love. Say
Okay.
hello and
Uh
read their names and
okay. Through Maddie's eyes tells us you got Capricorn in the 12th house.
yeah, we talked about that.
And then we got Irene. Did you know Irene is here? Irene
Wait,
Mack.
wait, 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 wait. Hello, Irene. Bum, 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 bum. She's a star. I love Irene. I always sing to her, but you know what? I'm a little upset. And I know she is now, after meeting you on my channel, she's a support of you as well. Irene is the best. But Irene has never come to Coffee Talk. I have not met Irene in person yet. And I've known her for years on YouTube. And my heart is broken. I think Irene is either afraid of me. And then she told me, she admitted, she goes, Eric, do you know I'm a white girl? I said, what that mean to me? race, color means nothing to me, Irene. I got love for you, whether you're white, purple, black, brown. Shoot, come on.
I
My
don't see
mother
how
was like,
Irene can be
my
white.
mother
I
was
don't
like
think
40.
that
My
she
mother was like
is.
40% white. What that mean to me, Irene? I got love for you, girl.
Oh my God.
I better see you in 2025 at Coffee Talk, Irene.
Oh my God. I hope she's still here.
Yeah. Well, she'll
Okay.
hear it on the replay or something.
Yeah, that's what she said. Okay. All right. And Irene also said plants start to perk up from a distance when the owner gets close to the house.
Yes,
That
I
is
saw that video the other day, Irene. And that's something? I-
so precious.
because they said dogs do it too, but the plants, the trees, they can, I forgot the radius. They set it in kilometers. So it's
Mm,
like, but I forget kilometers and you know like feet or miles. But
mhm.
yeah, like they can energetically feel you when you're returning home. That
Wow.
how deep is that? Like, oh my god.
I believe it. My plants out here, my friend Papa Oms used to tell me that the reason that they grow, because I'm in San Diego, like 2 blocks from the beach, and
Yeah.
the soil was completely dust. It was like the color of my skin, and it
Wow.
was just dusty. And I have massive amounts of trees, probably 40 in this tiny little space,
Oh my god.
growing above the second floor, an avocado tree that has baby avocados in it. It was a
Oh,
plant
you have an
itself.
avocado tree?
This thing planted itself in
Wait a
2020.
minute. Did you just invite the Taylors to come move in with you? I love it. Oh my god. Okay, you'll laugh. I used to never eat avocados.
They're
My wife
so
turned
good.
me on to avocados, okra, mushrooms. I used to not eat any of them.
Mhm.
Now I'm like a crackhead. I'm like, she goes to the farmer's market. Did you bring home some okra? Like,
Good.
and I love
So
avocados.
good. So this tree planted itself in 2020. It's only
Really?
2024 and there's avocados on it already.
That's incredible.
It's huge too. So,
Congrats.
why am I saying this? Oh, because my friend used to tell me that it was because I love them. It's
It
because how much
is.
I love them. They want to show me love back. And the
Back,
way that they
yes.
show love back is by
Their
like
fruit and
they're
giving you their
flowering
seeds. Yep.
themselves. They're
Yeah.
so beautiful. And I love them. When I'm out of town, I think of them. I ask friends to come over and check on them. Can you water them? And I've got cherry moyas growing. I have so many different
Now,
varieties
I
of,
don't know what are those. I don't know what that is.
I think they're also called sugar apple.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They look like hearts or like a dinosaur heart.
Okay, now I know. I've heard of sugar apple. Okay, that's cool.
They're good for diabetes too. They're really good.
Wow.
Let's see, Irene. And then we have Rose Jefferson says
Hey,
she's
Rose.
Oh, you know Rose?
Oh,
Okay,
great.
she's
Yeah, Rose is an OG.
Capricorn. Capricorn in the second house, Saturn in the first. That's what she's
So,
saying.
then Rose, there's got to be some kind of new structures and disciplines around your speech, around your values and self-worth, the family, but also even how you earn money. Make sure the minute you earn it, you're not like spending it out. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So, like, really think about your internal discipline system. Saturn in the first house, as a Sag rising, you already are, I find with people with Saturn and the ascendant, they are so tough on themselves, Anjani. And so,
Mhm.
Rose, please, my greatest hope for you is I tell my clients, retire from negative self-talk. I live with a Saturn ascendant person, but they've got Saturn in Virgo. And my son, he's very tough on himself. And, there's that gotta be perfect. No, no, you don't have to be perfect. You have to be you. And Saturn on the ascendant, you know, give yourself a little compassion, empathy, grace, and mercy. You're going through the Saturn square right now, so that's not easy, Rosie. That's not easy. I don't like that, Lucy. Oh my God. And how did you experience, you have 3 kids, I have 4, that Saturn opposition when the kids are like, 14, 15?
We
Ooh.
really went through it. And guess what?
Isn't
When
that a tough time being a parent? God.
my 2 kids are about the same age. They're only 18 months apart, 19
Ah,
months apart. And when they were going through their Saturn opposition, I was in my Pluto square natal Pluto.
ooh.
We dealt with a lot
Oh my
of
gosh.
like the things that these teenagers are going through
Oh my
with not sure if they're a girl or a boy, don't want to live on this
God,
planet anymore, all
that's
of it.
tough. Yeah.
We went through all of it.
We're having more of the like, verbal, disputes, because he's a Gemini, so blah, 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 Gemini moon too. So, but it's like, I'm just like, I'm not your bro. I'm your father. You know what I mean? Like let's not, that's your mother. Don't raise your voice, watch your mouth. So you just have to bring those discipline reminders. Discipline is love. I think, it's hard because where I live, my wife and I, we're the strict parents. And that's a joke to me because compared to Cheryl Taylor, I'm like a softie. My mother was no joke. Taurus, woo, Taurus mother, oof, God. You know what I mean? So, like, for me to be amongst my children, my 11-year-old twins and my 15-year-old, the strict parents, oh my God, I'm like, these parents are like freaking frosted flakes. They are such softies. It's disgusting, but it doesn't do them. Because even my kids, they notice it, that
Mhm,
their friends are not as capable as them. Because we
mhm,
teach them chores. Oh, they came out with a new study that chores makes your children function better as adults. Chores
mhm,
in the house growing up. Yeah, they got to take out the garbage. They vacuum, they sweep, they mop, they clean the toilets, they do their laundry. Hell yeah. Put them
mhm,
kids to work. It's built. Your home is a training ground, you guys, for your children. It's Saturn. You're training them for the world. You
mhm,
can't Venus them through childhood. You moon Venus and then you Saturn them.
mhm,
You have to Saturn your children.
mhm,
Got to. That's love. You
mhm,
throw them to the wolves. Mommy's not at work.
mhm,
Don't nobody want to hear oh, well, I didn't really feel like it, and oh, you didn't remind me. What? Fired. That's not working in the real world. So don't moon and Venus them to death in their home. That's not going to serve you.
mhm.
Okay.
Wow, we could take some of that for ourselves too.
Amen. You're
Being a
right.
parent is really helpful for being able to parent ourselves also. Like
Amen.
turning some of that authority around to navigate our own stuff, especially if like you and me working for ourselves as the primary, you know what I'm saying? We're
Our
like,
own bosses. Yeah.
exactly. We don't have somebody to tell us what to. It's like I have to grab Saturn from myself and sit down and write the things out. And I literally will like, okay, here's the question, and then I'll write the answer. It's like automatic
Do
writing,
you
but I'll
verbally talk to yourself? I think that's very helpful for Pisces sun sign
yes, I
and
talk to
Pisces Mercury.
myself
You got to talk out loud. I think that's
and
very helpful.
I write it. I write the
Okay.
question, hey Saturn, blah blah blah. I need to do this, and then the next thing, what's it called, automatic writing, but I'll do it with Saturn. So
That's smart. Okay.
yeah, so I'm like, gotta do that.
Wait, wait. I got to laugh though. That's some real, I don't curse, but that's some real Virgo Saturn, sugar honey iced tea stuff. Because only a Virgo Saturn would do that. I write letters to Saturn and ask Saturn questions.
I do that. Yeah, I
That's
actually
all. But
wrote
listen,
an
no other Saturn placement does that but Saturn Virgo. I
probably
promise
right.
you.
You're probably right. I wrote an
I love,
addendum.
I love that.
Addendum to the law is what I called it. Addendum to the law
I love
was like my Saturn rules aren't quite the same as the law, and you know what I'm saying?
no,
But it's like
yeah.
an addendum to the law. These are the
Okay.
things that I will do,
Yes.
which you know what I'm saying? So I work with Saturn like that.
No, that's very responsible of you, but it's very smart. You know what I mean? I think I'm I'm coming into 2025, Anjani, and we're getting ready to wrap up, you guys. Any last questions or comments? Put them up now. But I'm coming into 2025 with this universal cosmic astrology connection that I've had before, but like in a new way. You know what I mean? Where I'm like, really, I am communicating with the planets and honoring them in different ways. And the visualization, I'm not just doing it for my clients because I do that automatically in, birth chart interpretations, but in terms of integrating, like you said, our own Saturn parenting ourselves
Mhm.
into my own life in terms of like my relationship with my Saturn, my Jupiter, my Mars. like really like, okay, boom, this is, I've got to make these adjustments. How do I integrate and honor that planet through my sign and house into my own life?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm about teaching people. I try to teach people to become a Jedi of their natal birth chart, like to master it. And the real Jedi is real. It's not Star Wars George Lucas. He stole that. It's DJEDI, the real Jedi. And that goes back to, ancient Kemet and beyond, Lemuria, Samaria, all that stuff. So it's really important. And so, yeah, we're just two peas in a pod growing through the Saturn matrix discipline. And that's just special.
I'm so happy you mentioned that about the Jed. The Jed, it's a real thing the Jed is similar to that Shishum Nanadi, what I was talking about.
I had a feeling that it was, but I didn't know to ask you.
The Jed, yes, it's like the column of light that runs through you, the same thing as the Shishum Nanadi. So when you're talking about becoming a Jedi, you're mastering your energy. Everything that's coming from the sky, the cosmos, is coming down in through your body. And now all these planets, Jupiter, Venus, Mars, coming down in through your Jed, expanding your central channel, and you're able to move those planets masterfully through everything that you do. That's really the ultimate goal. And
Oh my
we
God.
should work on something together with this, because
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I wrote
I'm really wanting to do like these group webinars with people and
practice.
and have people come on and really teach like a
Yeah,
real full, 3 to 4 hour lesson
yeah.
from both our perspectives. Yeah, we're gonna
And
make this happen.
they can practice with embodying their Mars, their Saturn, you know
Saturn,
what
yeah.
I mean?
Each planet, yeah. And and
Yeah.
and and I think it's good because if we do it with a smaller group, like cap it like from 8 to 12 or 10, whatever the magic number is, right? Then we can work in that 3 to 4 hour time period with each person and their chart. You know what I mean? Picking different planets.
Mhm.
We could start with like their chart ruler and then, see from there with each person and then integrate different planets. I think that would be so powerful
Mhm.
and really transformative for everyone that would come to it. So book it. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. I mean, listen, the nodal axis is changing. We got to really tap into this Pisces North Node. And I have a Pisces North Node, right? This is my time.
I have a Pisces South node.
Yeah. Our
Stop
nodes
it.
are opposite too. Oh my God. That's 4 opposites. That's incredible. Yeah. I'm a Pisces North Node. Yeah.
That's so crazy.
I forgot
Uh
that you were the Virgo North Node too. I
yep.
remember the Saturn, but I forgot the North Node. Wow.
My Saturn and North Node are together.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. All right. So I have Pisces rising. This was through Maddie's eyes. Says she has
Oh,
Pisces rising, Taurus sun, Scorpio moon, Saturn in the third
oh,
house.
wait. I got a hiccup with that.
What?
She told us earlier she's got Capricorn in the 12th house. You can't if you're a Pisces rising.
Maybe she's using a different
You're
house.
looking at Placidus. So this, Maddie, go to astro.com, my friend, or reach out and book the birth chart because I want you, to really understand through the whole sign system. So if you are the Pisces rising, Capricorn's in your 11th house. Aquarius is in your 12th. Okay. So Pluto's going to be rocking in your 12th house. And that's very important for you to really integrate and understand that energy. So really look at the whole sign system. It's a game changer, Maddie. It will change your life forever. Okay. Really do that for me. But yeah, I told you my mom was a Pisces rising, Pisces moon. So I love, I married a Pisces, but I love the Pisces energy. My favorite cousin, who's my younger cousin and like a sister to me, she's a Pisces as well. So I've grown up around the Pisces energy my whole life. But growing up, Anjani, I had no idea that my mom was a Pisces moon and rising, not until I became a professional astrologer. And
Right.
it's like, it just warmed my heart. I was like, but you know what's so great, you guys? Not just doing your children's charts, you got to learn the charts of your parents because it makes you see them, like really see them and appreciate them, but also have more compassion and empathy for them because you're like, oh, mom went through that. Oh, dad dealt with that. now I see or get them. You know what I mean? I
Mhm.
really, and I love it. I had this one client one time, both their parents had passed away, but she booked a chart reading with me, with herself first. But then she said, Eric, could you do my parents' charts? And I had to recreate the charts because she wasn't sure on the times. And we did it, based on their life experiences. It was real, easy for me to do. I actually love doing that when people don't know their birth times. I can recreate the chart and figure it out. But um, oh my God, she loved it and she learned so much. Even though her parents were deceased, she really was like, thank you. This was like the greatest gift to kind of like complete, her, to know who her parents were astrologically, and for me, that's what I did when my dad was already gone and my mom was still here. But, now even after they're both gone, I'll bring up their charts sometimes and see what transits are happening and just look at their chart and get every time you go to the chart, you get a different perspective. You really
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, I love that. I did my kids and my parents, and I found out my dad was like had nothing fatherly on his chart at all. So it
Uh-huh.
made me be like, wow, dad, thank you for trying. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
yes.
And
No.
also, I'll notice like I had a lot of Tupac coming back into my life in the last, probably like the last 2 weeks. All of a sudden, I was like so like wanting listening to Tupac songs every single day, and so I like looked at his chart, and guess what? The North Node was going right over his. Was it going over his North Node? Anyway, the North Node was like at 2 degrees Aries, and it was going over something on his chart. I can't remember what it. I think it was going over his own North Node, so like having a
Mhm.
nodal return. But when you are thinking of somebody, the chart is just such a wonderful tool for so many
And it
things.
does continue even after we're gone here in the physical.
Yeah, we're
Totally
still
does.
getting information from that imprint of who that person was to us in our life and who they are in the world, not just to us.
Oh yeah. No, no, no. That's so important. So any last comments or questions you want to
I
read?
will tell you, Rose Jefferson says she's got Pisces North Node. Who got that? You? You got
Yeah, me
that.
too.
And then waiting for the mothership. I love her. I love that
Ooh,
name.
I love that
I
name.
know it's popped up in here twice. I
Waiting
don't
for the mothership. I hear that.
waiting for the mothership. My natal Saturn is in Scorpio. Capricorn is the 11th house, and a Libra sun.
Her natal Saturn is where again?
Natal Saturn is in Scorpio.
Oh,
Capricorn is in the 11th house.
oh my God. She can research and investigate the mysteries of the world, secret societies, occult knowledge forever. When you have Saturn in Scorpio, these are the people that can be those researching doctors, the biologists, the scientists that they're studying under the microphone, the microscope, and they're looking up things and what is plasma and all, like they can, or if they took it to the occult knowledge or finances. Scorpio Saturn is like it makes me almost think of like your Uranus Saturn. I think, and they haven't designated officially astrology, but I do feel that Uranus is exalted in Scorpio. And I think it
Mm,
really can take you into like, all that you do, like the tantric yoga, the stuff with the plants, the healing, the
mm,
Reiki mat, like Uranus Scorpio. I think some people have it and don't even realize the jewel that they have.
mm,
But Saturn Scorpio is really deep in
mm,
terms of that. Because think of the fixed energy of Scorpio, ruled by Mars. When you
mm,
kind of put that power, I'm as cold as ice. When you put that with Saturn, it's no joke. They
mm,
can also be masters at like magic, unfortunately, black magic, anything. They can be masters of spirituality, occult knowledge, all of it, the metaphysics. It's really a great placement. So.
mm.
Well, thanks for sharing that. Anything else, or
I think that's it.
we're
Yeah,
about to hit
Yogini
the.
Star said thank you both.
Oh, Yogini Star, what's up?
Mm-hmm.
Another great name. Yeah, that the mothership. Oh man, thank you for coming. Make sure you subscribe to the channel Mothership, and all you people, and go follow Miss Anjani Siegrist, Awaken to Dream School. Share your information. How can people book with you and do readings with you? Share your socials because you have you kind of have a couple break down the herbalist business, and then also the Awaken a Dream School and Venus Gemstone.
Oh my gosh, it's so much, right? But if you just go to my Instagram, it's Venus Gemstone, and I've got my link tree on there,
Yeah,
or my name, which is written here on the screen,
yeah.
AnjaniSiegrist.com. And that really is the hub for everything. I have a lot of free stuff. I'm really, really into resourcing you. I write every single day. Like every
Wow,
day, I wake up and I write about
that's great.
astrology and I put it into formats. I've been starting to do more writing about plants. So
Oh,
giving,
cool.
yeah, so writing more about which plants or what they're doing and how you can use them. You can get access to that also through my link tree because I have a Telegram group.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. And she's a great follow on IG. Oh, tell them the Oja Instagram because we told Venus Gemstone, but what's the Oja one again?
Okay, yeah. It's so funny. I think OJAS is going to become a thing in 2025. It's been small. Like the page you're going to see that's probably got like 1,200 followers.
It's
Everybody's,
growing though because like people are really. I saw you talking about the other day. People are really buying your different remedies and stuff, and that's awesome.
yes, the store has always been busy since it started.
That's good.
Um, I've been making herbal medicine since I was pregnant the first time. My daughter is now 20, she's going to be 22. So
Wow.
I've been making medicine for all those years, but only in 2020 I started making it available to buy. I used to just make it and give it away to my massage clients. But
Yeah.
so that is Ojas plant medicinals, but it's kind of long. So I feel like if you just go to Venus Gemstone, I have it on my main page. You can click on it.
Okay.
It'll take you to Ojas plant medicinals.
Okay.
And yeah, there's a lot. I don't do a lot of free stuff on there right now. Like I want to
That's
be
all
doing
right.
more education because of the plants and planets, like we talked about in that
Oh,
last live we
that was
did.
such a good. You guys, please go back and watch that episode, and I'll go back and edit this and link it in here. So when you're watching this, you can also click and watch that. It's a great episode.
Yeah,
That was so much knowledge, and I know we did that, but what's interesting? I'd like to even. Do can we connect the plants to the? We did the planets, but can we connect it like to the days of the week as well, which is connected to the
Oh,
planets?
well, totally, because the days of the week are planets.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's what I was thinking. Like Tuesday is Mars, like the Tuesday like plant,
Mm.
like
That
every
is such a good idea.
yeah. So every Tuesday you need to sit with the Mars planet.
Right.
Saturday the
Nettles.
Saturn planet. Yeah,
Yep. Horsetail for Saturn. Yeah, that
yeah,
is so cool.
yeah. So maybe we'll bring that into the webinar we'll do together. We'll figure something out. Like we're gonna make it like chuck full of nuts for you guys. So when you come, you're gonna be like. Pew. You'll leave, and your cranium will be in your hand, almost falling to the floor. And you'll be like, "Thank you, Anjani and Eric. You just readjusted my cranium.
Oh my God, you're a riot.
Thank you for fixing my cranium." No, no, for real. But that's how with Virgo, North Node, and Saturn. As a Virgo, if I'm gonna create something for people, I want to blow them away. I hate when I pay for things, Anjani. And I've been paying for some things recently, especially even with the technology things and trying to get like social media help and this and that, or just whatever, advertise, and people charge a lot and way, way under deliver.
Yeah.
That irritates me. Like
Yeah.
to me, if you pay for something with me, I'm gonna your cup runneth over. Like you're gonna be like, oh my God, I'm almost overwhelmed. Like this was so much, but it was so helpful and beneficial, but it's so much. I'd rather that than leave you like, yeah, I'm still hungry.
I'm with you.
I'm still
As
thirsty. Like,
that's a
no, that's
Scorpio
insulting to
rising.
Virgos. We don't want to like ever make you feel that way.
And because you can always throw some of it out. You don't have to take it all in. But if you like, the more there is, the more likely that there's going to be that one gem that you
Oh
can
yeah.
that really lands for you, you know?
No, definitely. So this was great. Episode 279, Knowledge is Love, Anjani Siegrist, Eric Taylor. Please like, share, subscribe. Sagittarius birth chart sale still rocking to December 20th, you guys. Also, make sure as soon as I click this button, come back and comment. It helps it grow an algorithm, and share. Anjani and I shared a lot of insight and knowledge. You don't know what friends or family members you have. Yeah, during Pluto Capricorn, they used to be closed off to spirituality, astrology, esoteric knowledge. But Pluto's in Aquarius. Send them a text, share them this video. You never know how they may respond differently this time. Trust me, energy has changed. More people are awakening than ever, and more than you can expect. And people that you thought, like you said last time we were talking about, like you were like, you had me cracking up. People were like talking about their essence. You like, I never heard you mention your essence before. Yo, you had me in tears with that. But it's true. Pluto Aquarius has got people like, they're vibrating differently. And plus, look at the world. It's bat ape crazy. You got freaking orbs and drones. People are like realizing, like, wait a minute. Some of these people that I thought were in the fringe or conspiracy theorists or whatever, like they may have been right. They may be right all along. So you know what I mean? People are awakening. So share this, come back, comment, give us a fire emoji, thumbs up. Thanks, Anjani. Thanks, Eric. Whatever. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you again. I'll be back live Friday night with 9 p.m. Eastern with Mr. Ryan Railsback, and it's going to be a lot of fun. He's a brilliant young guy, young Sagittarius, Anjani, and really fascinating psychic medium. And you know, he went through MK Ultra, a lot of stuff growing up, really, really deep. He's all about ascension and tapping into the galactic. So it'll be a lot of fun. I'll see you guys Friday for episode 280, 9 p.m. And like always, Anjani, this was great, my friend. I look forward. Oh, and she's gonna come back. I'm doing a special February Black History Month stuff. So Anjani will join us closer to her birthday, but the end of February, I think she's gonna come back, and it's gonna be fun. So I cannot wait.
Yay. All right. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, everybody. This was so much fun.
And happy holidays, happy New Year 2025. And make sure, Anjani, and all you Taurus risings and Aries risings, go watch my 2025 breakdown of your rising sign and sun for insights and predictions. And so far, I got Aries and Taurus up. So, Anjani, you better watch it and comment, girl.
I will. I'm going right now.
All right. I love it. I appreciate it. Good night, everybody. Enjoy the Capricorn new moon and Capricorn season, as we are about to say a bid adieu. I like when people say that. We're about to bid adieu to the Sagittarius season. And the cusp of prophecy begins tomorrow. Those Sag Capricorn people on the cusp of prophecy, they're no joke, Anjani. Brilliant.
I don't know any of them.
Oh, I know some smart cookies with that energy. Yeah. They're smart and they're a little freaky. You know, listen, truth be told, y'all, Sag Capricorn, we know about y'all.
Introduce me to them.
Sag Capricorn is straight up. Oh my God, Anjali, that is so funny. I will. I'll have to find one for you. But yeah, you guys enjoy. Have a great rest of the week. Oh my God.